Okay guys, so good morning and welcome back to Dork Ninja Gaming. I am Ninja Andrew, and today we are going to be continuing to take a look at the multiplayer here in Infinite Warfare. So I've basically finished with the Maps Knowledge series for now. So starting today, I'm going to be going on with a little bit of more of like the rest of the game. So basically like once you come into the game, you've familiarized yourself with the maps, I guess it's probably time to go into a match. I'm actually not going to be jumping into a match today, so sorry to get your hopes up, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk about some of the weapons that you can, like your starting weapons, and how to basically choose your first weapon, and then some of the game modes. I'm going to talk about the game modes and like maybe what you should be looking for first-time players. So just gonna start it there, and good morning, Mr. Super. Hope you're having a good morning. Okay guys, so starting off, basically I've already leveled up my character to Prestige 1, and I have not Prestiged yet, so basically that's what I'm going to do right now. So that we can go and take a look at what your starting weapons are going to be for any characters. So here we go. Let's go. Enter Prestige. Alright. Apparently we have to wait for it. Guess that's so you don't accidentally do it. Boom! So there we go. So this is just to return me to basically being a new character. Let's see if we can do this. So, permanent unlock token. Normally, I would spend this on the tactical knife, but because I don't need it at the moment, I'm just going to put it into ghosts, because that's probably my most used perk. There we go. Right, so I did that. Ghost, okay, so Ghost is permanently unlocked, and then we get to unlock one classic weapon here. So let's see, what's going to be the good one to start with. Let's go, I'm going to go with the Hornet. There we go, I'll just go down the list as I unlock stuff. So that'll be something else to do. So basically, I've returned my character to starting level. So essentially I'm level 1. So if I go into my create a class now, it's returned all of the basic starting create a class builds to their defaults. So when I go in to build my first loadout, right, these are going to be the guns that you'll have access to starting off in the game. So it looks like the NV4, which is a full auto ballistic rifle, so it fires bullets, and it fires full auto, so you hold the trigger and it'll just keep shooting. You don't have to press the trigger for each shot, right? Whereas the RK3 is a 3-round burst rifle, so when you press the trigger, it's going to fire 3 bullets all at once, and then you're going to have to press the trigger again for it to fire another 3 bullets, and so on and so forth, right? So also when you start, you probably won't have the alternate variants and stuff like that like I have here, but that's okay, you'll unlock those out of supply drops and whatnot. But basically we're just going to go through and try to find like the best starting weapons. So in the SMG class we have the ERAD, which is a full auto energy firearm. So this one actually shoots like energy projectiles instead of bullets, so it kind of looks like a laser, kind of purpley blue. And it's pretty powerful. I would say this is like a half-decent starting gun if you had no other choice. So this might be the one to think about for now. The FHR-40 is not my favorite gun in the game. This is actually the first gun that I started out with thinking that I was really going to like it, and it's just basically a hit marker machine. You'll get like 6 hit markers and the enemy won't die. So, you know what I mean? It's like you keep shooting and shooting and shooting and nothing happens. So, not I wouldn't suggest this as a starting gun. We've got the Raw here. I haven't tried this particular class out yet. I haven't tried the light machine guns. So there's usually three different types, two or three different types of light machine guns. I think so far my favorite one is the Mauler, so you don't actually have access to that until level 13, so this may not be the best starting weapon, but it would be half decent. It would be more powerful than the assault rifles over here, and it would have more ammo than they would. So potentially, like, this might be a good starting weapon, just because it's going to probably drop enemies a little bit quicker than the other stuff, and you don't have to, you know, run around as quickly as you would if you were using the E-Rad. So this might be a good starting weapon. The KBS longbow sniper rifle, you can try sniping if that's really your thing, but I would say for Call of Duty, I think sniper rifles would be the last weapon that you would want to try working on if you're new to the game, like brand new. Because if you've never used them before, it's a very tactical weapon. You have to have a lot of strategy and skill to use it, and even just player ability, like to pull off quick shots and stuff like that. There's probably other channels out there that can give you a little bit more of an idea of how to quick shot in Call of Duty, but I'm not really going to get into too much of that because I'm an old grandpa sniper and I snipe the real way. So basically I wouldn't suggest going with a sniper rifle first out. Shotguns, we've got the Reaver. Not a terrible shotgun. This is not bad. I would say I'm gonna say second best. Actually, no, third best probably shotgun in the game. I really like the Rack 9 and the DCM8. But essentially, you're gonna have to like level up level 29 and 47 to get those unlocked. So I think that it's kind of between the shotgun, the light machine gun, and the E-Rad. The raw, there we go. So like those are probably the three best starting weapons in the game. You won't probably have access to the classic weapons like I have here. So those will come with getting your unlocks and working towards that kind of stuff. So if you're trying to choose between those three weapons as your starter weapon, basically the E-Rad is going to be very quick firing, very accurate, and is going to have like a medium-sized clip, right? Like it's going to work kind of like an assault rifle, but it's a little bit weaker. It won't fire quite as far across the map to get, you know, headshot kills and stuff like that at sniper ranges and stuff like that. But for mid-range to close range, this gun will work very well. It's good for a rushing class, like if you want to run around the map and slide around the map and do the wall running and stuff like that, this weapon will work very well for you. If that doesn't sound like the kind of gameplay that you like doing, if you don't like going really fast and running and sliding and all that kind of stuff, I would suggest the raw, because it's probably going to make you move slightly slower, but if you like your feet to be on the ground and you like to be aiming down sights and moving around and taking up positions and, you know, trying to hold and shoot a bunch of enemies all at the same time, which is, I would say most new players will probably end up playing like that by default, just because they'll be walking around looking for the combat. They'll see it on their mini-map, they'll walk in the general direction, and then it's like, oh crap, there's 3 enemies, you know what I mean, I need to be able to deal with that. Whereas playing with the SMG, you got to be a little bit more tactical, taking corners and like hiding on cover and popping out and shooting people, stuff like that. So it's a little bit more tricky, whereas this is just more straightforward, I guess you would say. And then the Reaver, it's kind of like the face hammer, right? Like it's like if aiming at people and aiming down sights and doing that kind of stuff doesn't appeal to you and you just want to run around and like blow people away, go with the Reaver. Why not, right? As far as the assault rifles, it's like if if none of those gameplay styles appeal to you, the NV4 is supposed to be kind of like the jack of all trades. Like, it's supposed to be able to kind of be good in any situation, whatnot, like that. But I found it to be kind of like this SMG in that it's kind of gets a lot of hit markers and doesn't get the kill. So I don't really like it. I've seen other players saying that it's like, oh, this is the best gun, blah 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 blah. I really didn't like it. I don't like the burst fire on the RK3. Kind of a difficult gun to use. I've been going through doing the gold camos and all that. So then, like, if I was going to get an assault rifle, I'd wait until you unlock like the K-bar, the Type 2, or the Volk. I would say those are by far superior to those two. So just, you know what I mean, so you know why I'm not suggesting those. So that's kind of my opinion of like your starting weapons, the stuff that you have the first choice of. So kind of to give you guys an idea of, you know, what you're choosing between, and, you know, help you try to find what it is you're looking for. And I will check comments in a second here, guys. I promise. I'm just going to back out, and after this we will take a look at game mode. So here, I'm just going to check comments and then we'll get back to this. So boom. So good morning, Kimmy. Hope you're having a good morning. Boom, you doing homework and fell asleep last night. Uh-oh. Well, I hope you got all your homework done, and I also hope that you had a good nap. Boom. Gotta get your sleep for that brain to not, you know what I mean, get all fried and frazzled. You gotta keep it healthy to learn stuff. Boom, and good morning, Tammy. Hope you're having a good morning. Boom, and James. The accuracy is horrible on, wait, which SMG? On the ERAD or the FHR or whatever it is? I thought, I felt like accuracy was terrible on the FHR, and I was just getting hit markers all over the place. The ERAD took me like no time at all to get the gold on, but I was mostly hip firing it, so maybe setting it up as a hip fire gun might be better than ADSing it. That might work, you know. Boom. Yes, the FHR. Yeah, no, I did not like the FHR at all. Worst gun in the game, in my opinion. It needs a buff. It needs them to do something to it. Turn it into like the way that oh god, is it the MP40, or I can't remember which gun it is, and or like what was the one that was like the Tommy gun in Advanced Warfare. I really like the fast fire rate gun best of all out of the submachine guns, but I think the best submachine gun is the Karma 45, because it's the most all around, doesn't do anything complicated, followed by the let's see here, probably the HVR. Or the Ripper was really good, but you have to switch back and forth between assault rifle mode and SMG mode, so I didn't really like that. The HVR was okay, but you have to aim down sights with it as well, whereas the Karma 45 was set up for hip fire, which is my favorite way to play. Boom! That's okay, Super. I still have videos up for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. If you want to watch those and find out the same information about those guns and all that stuff. Boom. And welcome back, Emilio. Hope you guys are all having a good morning. So I'm just going to get back to the stream here, guys, real quick, and I'm just going to go over sort of the rest of the information. So this is going to be about game modes. So what game modes do I suggest for first-time players of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? So when you come in here for your playlist selection, you're going to have a few different tabs or categories under which you're going to have all the different game modes. So the featured game modes is, in this case, going to be the new game types, or the ones that have been changed slightly since the last time. So these are the ones they're trying to promote for people to try out. So we've got Frontline, which is a new game mode. And basically Frontline, I would suggest this as best place to start for any new player to the game, because what it does is it gives each team a safe zone on the map where their team will spawn, and the enemy team, if they try to enter the safe zone, are going to be shown up highlighted through walls. And I think also if you're inside your safe zone, you also get a bonus shield on yourself, so it's harder to kill you if you're in your safe zone. So basically, like, it's going to eliminate some of that frustration with, like, you know, spawning and dying and not knowing what's going on, because it's going to clearly define, here's team A's spawn side, here's team B's spawn side, and you guys are going to fight towards each other towards the middle of the map, and then if you die, you're going to restart in your spawn zone. So it's a better spot to start so that you can sort of get used to playing the game while you're figuring out your guns and looking at the mini map and just trying to get a sense of everything. And the things that you'll learn here, you can then take on to the other game modes as you move up into the other stuff and try to find what it is that you like the most and what. But I think Frontline, definitely the best place to start, followed by Defender. Defender is a new version of Uplink, although I wish they would bring Uplink back, because I really did like Uplink. I hope they bring back Uplink and Escort the payload, or Escort the robot, or whatever it is, because those were some of my favorite game modes from the past couple games. But essentially Defender, there is a spherical uplink data ball in the middle of the field, and each team rushes to try and get the ball, and whichever team ends up getting the ball and holding on to it scores points for their team. The longer they hold the ball, the more points they'll get. So they're going to be running around trying to protect the ball, and the other team is going to be trying to run them down and catch them and kill them and get the ball for themselves. The ball has like a 30 or 40 second timer on it where, like, it'll automatically reset and go back to the middle, so it does sort of give everybody a chance to get a hold of it back and forth and stuff like that, just in case somebody gets it and, like, manages to go off and hide somewhere really, you know, hard to get to. They won't just win the game for the team. So makes it a little bit more difficult, but I would say it's not a bad game mode. I just preferred Uplink. You know, Uplink had a little bit more structure to it, but I know that the nature of this game forces people to play it a little bit more than Uplink does, where Uplink, you might be able to just go in there and be like, I'm going to just go for headshots and not care about the ball, whereas here it's kind of like everybody's chasing around the ball, so if you're going for headshots, you're still going to have to chase around the people that are chasing around the ball, and so is everybody else. So it just forces people to play together a little bit more, so it's actually not a bad game mode. And so then we have Infected. Infected is kind of I'm going to call it a gimmick game mode. There's a couple of those in here, but basically it's just for fun. I don't think that this is like a particularly good place to, like, work on your weapon skills or your weapons or anything like that. It's just more of a fun game mode to play, because it's going to be short matches where everybody starts out as a human and it randomly makes one person the infected zombie. And what happens is the zombie then has to infect the humans. So think of it kind of like the zombie is a secret knifer, right? So the zombie is going to hide somewhere, wait for somebody to come across his path, jump out and bite him, and when he does, then that guy becomes a zombie too, and then both of them are now looking for, you know, more people to infect, and it just keeps going down. So if you manage to be like the last human that's alive and you're killing all the zombies and you stay alive, then you win. But if the zombies all manage to kill everybody, then they win. So it's a fun game mode, but you know, kind of you're not, because it's going from you having your weapons to being turned into a zombie, and then you're spending most of the time running around as a zombie looking for humans to kill. You're not going to have a lot of time to work on weapons or stuff like that, but maybe it'll get you better at knifing or that kind of stuff. Terminal 24/7 is also it's not a gimmick game mode. This is just, it's the terminal map, which is an old fan favorite that they bought back for the pre-order buyers of Infinite Warfare. So essentially, yeah, we get to play Terminal 24/7 here on this one playlist selection, and Terminal is not in rotation with all of the other maps. So this is a way where it gives the pre-order people a way to play it, whereas everybody else can just play in the regular modes. So this is just the same map over and over and over all the time, 24/7, all day long, right? So if you want to play a map where you can learn that one map and learn how to predict things on that one map, this can be a really good playlist to have, because it's just going to keep putting you in on the same map over and over and over again. So once you learn, say, like, oh, here's the good sniper spots, or here's the good, like, hiding spots, or cover positions and all that kind of stuff, it's a good spot to learn and make things predictable for yourself. So especially if you're working on weapons and getting stuff like that unlocked, if you learn the distance between, if I hide in this corner with my grenade launcher and I aim at this point, I can shoot across the map and get kills over here and stuff like that. So, and then you can do it every match. So I think that's a good one to have, good one to play for new players if you're looking for that kind of experience. So then the rest of the maps or matches are divided into 4 other categories. We have standard, which is going to be standard game modes with standard damage calculation, all that kind of stuff. Hardcore is going to be harder to play game modes. It's got friendly fire, you have low health, and you don't have a radar anymore. So basically it takes one shot to kill you. You can accidentally kill your friendly guys that are on your team, and you don't have a radar anymore. So I prefer to play standard, although I understand, like, hardcore is more like original gaming used to be back in the day when you didn't have a radar and you had friendly fire and all that kind of stuff. So this is more like old school style, but I prefer just having the mini map and all that kind of stuff, because it makes it easier to go and get the kills and level up and all that kind of stuff. So I'll go through those game modes in just a second. We've got special, which is the larger game modes, or the mixed playlists. So this is like multiple different things all in one playlist. And then we have competition playlists, which I guess are, we do have uplink. Sweet. I'm gonna have to go there. We got search and destroy, and okay, so these are the ones these are objective game modes, I guess. I don't know if there's any difference in how your score is calculated, or if it's like, does this go towards online score, but dang straight, I'm gonna be playing some uplink. Hell yeah. Okay, so under standard game modes, right, we have team deathmatch. That's the most basic one. 2 teams versus each other. You can spawn anywhere on the map, so this is not the one where you have the safe zone. This is the one where you're just going to be spawned in, where the game thinks that you're going to be safest in relationship to your team and the enemy team, and it says good luck to you, right? But at least you still have, there's people on your team and the enemy has a team, and you're working with each other and against each other, right? Free for all, every man for themselves, right? So anybody you see is an enemy that needs to die, right? So don't trust anybody, you know what I mean? Like, anything that moves, kill it, right? That's what free for all is. Domination, you're holding 3 points, or you're trying to hold 3 points. Basically, each team will start near 1 point, and there'll be 1 point in the middle of the map, and you'll be fighting over those 3 points in order to control them. Not a bad game mode for new players, because it has objectives at least. So the teams are going to be focused on those objectives rather than with the team deathmatch, they're just going to be running around trying to kill everybody. So it just gives them something to be focused on aside from you, right? So domination might be a bit more fun than team deathmatch for new players. Search and destroy, basically there are objectives that your team needs to destroy with bombs, or you need to defend from being destroyed with bombs. I think there's 2 different objectives on the map, and essentially I can't remember if the team has to like pick up the bombs and then take them to the spot to destroy them, but you can watch, there's some fun gameplay online with this, with people doing like ninja deployments and ninja bomb destroys where they're like right next to the person setting the bomb and the person doesn't even realize that they're there. So there's some funny things that you can do in search and destroy, but a little bit of a more strategic game mode. Maybe not the best for new players. Maybe this would be something for like more experienced players to go in and test their skill, that kind of thing. Hardpoint. So this is kind of like domination, except the hardpoint moves around the map. So it's one point that the teams want to fight over, and it'll be like, oh, hardpoint is in, I don't know, I'm just going to say like the cafeteria or the mess hall or something, right? And you got to go, and each team is fighting over holding that point in the mess hall, right? And then it'll switch and it'll be like, oh, it's on the bridge, okay, and then everybody moves over to the bridge, and and the teams are fighting over it there. So it can be pretty fun. I like it. It's similar to domination. I would say it's similar enough that you'll probably enjoy both of those game modes. If you like one, you'll probably like the other. So, and because it also has that objective addition to the your objectives, it's going to give both teams something to focus on. You're going to know where to go to find the enemies because both teams are going to be going and showing up at the same spot, so that may help to help make a little bit more sense to new players of where things are and where to go. Kill confirmed, basically the same as team deathmatch, except that players drop giant dog tags on the floor when they die, and you only get points for your kills if you go and then pick up the dog tags. So you get a little bit of points if you get the kill, and then you get the full amount of points if you go and pick up the dog tags as well. So or if your teammate picks them up for you, you also get a little bit of points. So basically Kill Confirmed was originally to help fix some of the problems of the way that people will play Team Deathmatch, where they'll just camp. Kill Confirmed, if you want to get your points, it kind of forces you to get off your butt and go and pick up the dog tag, so it just keeps the game moving a little bit more. Might be a little bit more fun for some people than Team Deathmatch. If you don't like the campy aspects of Team Deathmatch. So Kill Confirmed kind of fixes some of that. And Frontline I've already talked about, and Defender I've already talked about, but basically I would suggest either one of those for new players. Should be pretty fun, a little bit more fun than Team Deathmatch. I'll go into Hardcore here. So Hardcore, your one-shot kills versions of all of these things. So one-shot kill Team Deathmatch, one-shot kill Domination, one-shot kill Search and Destroy, Free-for-all, and Kill Confirmed. So it's just a harder version of each of those things, and you don't have a radar. So like we said, special game mode. So here's another gimmick game mode called Gun Game. Basically, I think it's like 21 weapons or something like that. I can't remember how many it is, but essentially the game's going to start you off with either a knife or a low-level pistol or something like that. I think it starts off with the low-level pistol. I think knife is the last one. But it starts you off with a low-level pistol, and you got to go and get a kill with that. And once you get that kill, it's going to pop a new gun into your hands, and you're going to have to go get a kill with that. And it just keeps going through all of the different guns, most of the different guns in the game, until you've gone up through like pistols, sniper rifles, shotguns, SMGs, assault rifles, the whole way up through it. And then finally, I think the last kill, you have to run around and kill somebody with your knife, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of fun. You do get a little bit of experience working with each of those guns, but I don't think that it's the most efficient way to level up your guns, because if you're trying to get, say, headshots on a particular weapon and you only get one shot per match at getting that, it's like I can get like 10 headshots if I go in the other game mode, or I can maybe get one if I'm lucky here. So I don't really like it for leveling up stuff, but it's a good way to test out guns, test out your skill with all the guns, and challenge yourself. So that's kind of what that one's there for. Mosh Pit is an assortment of objective game modes. So that's going to essentially be things like domination, hardpoint, like all of this stuff. Uplink, defender, search and destroy, any of those things with 6 to 8 players. So I think that's a 3-on-3 or a 4-on-4 game mode. So it's a smaller. Oops, no, that's gun game. So 6 to 12. So that's 3 to 6 player game modes. So it's going to have smaller game modes to mid-sized game modes, a little bit more, you know, I don't know how to put that, but essentially, you know, easier as far as how many people there are on the field at any one time. We've got the Infected playlist here, which just plays Infected all day long, and then we've got Ground War. Ground War, I think, is the most interesting playlist. It's the one that I play on all the time, but it doesn't have all the game modes in it that I would like. I would like if they added uplink to it, especially, but essentially it's big team battles, team deathmatch, domination, kill confirmed. It also has frontline and defender in it, and that's 12 to 18 players. So that's actually 6 to 9 player game modes, so it's going to be bigger matches with more people on the field. And some of you may be thinking, oh, well, that's just going to make things more difficult. It makes things more difficult in one sense, but in another sense, it's harder for people to sneak up on you, because there's so many people on the field that your team is able to actually like cover an entire side of the field, as well as the enemy team is able to cover an entire side. So it makes it a little bit more like push pull back style gameplay, which I think most people would prefer, rather than the kind of stuff where in a smaller game mode it might be more sneaking around and killing people from behind and being all stealth and stuff like that. So because there's more people on the field, it makes it harder to sneak around for everybody, so it turns it into more of a just straight on head-to-head fight, which I think is better. And plus, if there's more people on the field, there's more people to kill, there's more people to get headshots on or level up your weapons, and the game modes tend to last longer, so you can get more points and do more stuff in it, so easier to level up your character. So I think Ground War is easily the best playlist out of everything. And I'll just go here, I'll show you the last ones. We've already talked about these three, but Uplink is essentially Quidditch in Call of Duty terms. You have the golden ball that drops in the middle of the field, and then each team has a floating ring that you have to get it through on their side of the map. So you can imagine it's kind of like a virtual soccer or virtual handball kind of game going on. But I think it's a lot of fun, and I really like playing Uplink. And you can kill people with the Uplink ball. If they get in front of you, you just hit the melee button, and you'll smash them over the face with it and take them out. So it'll be pretty fun. Boom! So those are all the game modes. Those are my suggestions for places to start if you're a new player to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and you're trying to get your feet wet and, you know what I mean, get into the game and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that'll help you guys figure out where you want to play and what you want to play, looking at all of these lists and all that kind of stuff, because I know it can be a little complicated for first time players and all that fun stuff. But I'm just gonna check the comments here, and then that'll be it for today, guys. Boom. So let's see here. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Boom. Okay, so good morning, Undead Joe. Hope you are having a good morning and welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, I haven't checked comments because I've just been concentrating on talking about the game here for a little bit. Oh, okay, nice. So just going back into the weapons here real quick. James says that the launchers can stop the Merc class Bull Rush move with the shield. So if you see a Merc coming with that shield, you might want to shoot the rocket at him. One last thing that I should actually mention here is I think the actual best weapon for a new player to start with in the game is the knife. Unfortunately, the knife is unlocked at player level 37. So you're going to have to level up quite a bit in order to get up to being able to unlock it. But I think that the knife is the best weapon for a new player to the game because the knife is going to teach you the most. It's going to teach you that you have to look at your radar to figure out where the enemy is. It's going to teach you that you need to hide in order to try and sneak up on them and ambush them. It's going to teach you how to do those things effectively if you keep playing with it and you keep using it. So it's like, it's going to teach you how to move around the map, right? It's going to teach you how to get close to players and how to attack people, so that then when you take the knife out of your hands and I put a gun in your hands, like a shotgun or an SMG or something like that, it's going to be like, now you can kill them from further away, right? Whereas with a knife, it's kind of like you develop all those skills for getting all close up to them. So it's like, because you already have that, it kind of makes it feel easier when you can be like, I don't even have to get that close. I can kill you from this far away. Boom, take that, right? Blow them away and all that kind of stuff. So I think if you're the kind of player that likes challenging yourself and you like fun gameplay, I think the knife is actually the best thing to work towards as far as a starting weapon. Because I guarantee you will get enjoyment out of using the knife, even though you're probably going to get shot in the face 1,000 times before you figure out that you need to hide and not run out and rush out into their faces. Eventually you'll figure out how to rush them so that you can knife them directly in the face and they can't do anything about it and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's like, as far as developing your skills, I think knife is the best weapon to start with, at least to get you moving around the map and, you know what I mean, being able to do all that kind of fun stuff. So I'll just come back here and check the comments. Boom. And of course it's the real Ninja Misty. Who else would it be? Boom. Yeah, I would say that's true, James. Hardpoint reminds you of Overwatch, you know? It's definitely similar in how that ends up playing as far as holding those points, you know? Exactly, James. 25 points for a bullet kill and 75 points for collecting the dog tag in kill confirmed. That's right. That's what I keep telling Misty, is like, Misty, like, she's better than she gives herself credit for sometimes, because I know that she's a beast. James and I both know that she's a beast in Overwatch, so, you know, I think Misty could definitely play COD multiplayer and have no problem with it. Boom. And good morning, King Boyd. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning. Exactly, Misty. See? We would all help you. You could join us all and we could play together. Boom. No, definitely, James. Sixth Sense was good in Black Ops 3. It was a little bit cheesy, though, and cheap, but, you know, I do agree that that was a good power, or a good ability, you know, good skill to have. Boom. And welcome back, Shock Nemesis, DCO Static. Hope you're having a good one. Boom. There we go. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today, I think. But I will be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be mini-map knowledge, so I'm going to actually be going in and playing some matches and talking about the mini-map as I play and sort of what I'm looking for and what's going on in my brain as I'm playing and looking at the mini-map and all that kind of fun stuff. So, of course we remember DCO Static. Boom! And welcome to Smith Place. Hope you're having a good morning. You're just in time for me to sign off. Boom. So, yes, I'll be back again tomorrow morning for mini-map knowledge, and Misty and I will be back this evening in the DC universe to run hopefully some of the newer content as well as some of the older content. Boom. That's right. Yeah, exactly, Misty. Oh god. I think Misty gets a cruel pleasure out of watching me have to go back into DC. But we'll be back there again this evening, guys. So if you like this episode, if you found this helpful, please hit that like button. If you like the content that we do here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button and join us again for more fun stuff as we do it. You know, ask comments, questions, share this with your friends, share this with your enemies, you know, and anything that you think that would be fun to do. Do that. And big thank you to everybody for coming and joining me in chat today. As always, definitely appreciate seeing everybody's wonderful smiling faces in the morning. Boom. And I will be back again later with Misty. So big thank you once again, and join us again next time for more epic adventures here in Dark Ninja Gaming. Woot. And yes, that's right, if we don't see you all before tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving. Boom. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you.